Here is another Instafilter effect for you, and this time we are going to warm up a photo in an interesting way. I will share two variants of this method, and it kind of depends on the photo which variants to use. So let's start with method A. We are going to use one adjustment for this effect, and this time it will be the lens filter. Once we have added our lens filter, I'm going to change the color to cyan, which is the opposite of red. Next, let's max out the optical density to 100%, and finally, in this dialog, let's turn off the Preserve Luminosity checkbox. Perfect! This will recolor our photo with cyan. In order to make it warmer, we need more red actually. To achieve that, I'm going to change the blend mode of this lens filter adjustment to difference. As you notice, we get the opposite effect. The image is now completely red looking. Time for blend ranges. To open up the blend ranges, I can click on the cog icon at the layer panel, and in the blend options, we are going to change the underlying composition ranges. First, we start with the red channel and adjust the line so it gradually declines towards the bright red values. The second step is to adjust the blue channel. This time we will do the opposite, so it gradually increases towards the bright blue values. Pretty awesome. Let's have a quick look at the before and the after. The reds have increased in the image and it looks much warmer. As mentioned earlier, I have a second variation of this method which might work much better in most photos. Let's use the second example image. I'm going to repeat the same steps as before. A lens filter adjustment, set the color to cyan, maximize the density to 100%, turn off the Preserve the Luminosity, and set the blend mode of the adjustment to difference. So far so good. Let's open up the blend options, and for this method the change will be in the blue channel. Just like in the previous variant, the red will decrease towards the bright values, but in this variant, the blue will also decrease towards the bright values. The effect is almost ready, but opposite to the first variant, this effect is probably too strong, and it really shines when you lower the opacity of the adjustment to about 50%. Have a look at that. When we compare it with the original, it definitely makes your image more interesting. Let's try this on another image, where this effect really shines. When I enable the adjustment, have a look at that. A much more contrasty and warmer image. Just for fun, let me increase the opacity so we can see the effect in full force. In this case, it is way too much, but again, it depends on what you're going for. It kind of creates an autumn look actually. Here is another example. I think it is definitely a cool subtle effect. I have also made the macros for these filters, and a link to them will be in the description. By the way, you can achieve the same in a different manner. I can add a fill layer and fill it with red. When I change the blend mode of the fill layer to multiply, we get pretty much the same effect as the cyan lens filter in difference blend mode. If we modify the blend range in the same manner, we get the same effect. To blend it more naturally, we can lower the opacity to 50%, just like with the lens filter adjustment. If we compare the two methods, there is no difference. Pretty cool. I prefer the lens filter method, as this allows for a little bit more fine-tuning. We can easily change the density in the filter to control the strength of the effect. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you like this Instafilter. Until the next video.